Jake, record music on. Adam, take it away.
Hello, welcome back to another podcast that doesn't involve Jay. Always good, yay!
That's my favorite podcast.
I know. When's the last time you had a podcast?
It's been a long time. I was not on the last two final words because I was evicted from my own show.
And
I've never been on one, period.
That's all right. We got ThirstCast here. In the Power Ranking podcast cast.
Shit my pants?
Yeah.
No, that's when I was mentioned.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, we're here for the podcast to overlook the power rankings and the voting. So just like last time, I figured we talk about who we voted for, why you think it happened. Quick kind of analysis as to how we've led up to Lucian, which is less than a week away.
Yeah, let's get fired up. Yeah. Live studio audience. I'm adding a laugh track behind that.
So we got to go fast though because Jake has 15 more videos to render.
15 videos, but only 9 matches. So as long as I have the raw files, we're fine.
There you go. All right, so let's just get started. Let's get kicked off here. You guys see the power rankings? I just put them out literally 30 minutes ago.
Yeah.
I don't even remember them, so I have to load those up briefly. So
active and unprepared.
Yes, but
I'm inactive, but always prepared.
Oh yeah, Cass is
I'm
here.
always signed into Lucian. Oh shit!
Yeah, we didn't do typical introductions. They know who we are, but hey, Cass is here. Hey, Dad.
Hi, son.
Hey.
Hi, Adam.
The cast of characters.
Right. Anyway, so I'm just gonna go right down the line with the results, and then we'll dive into the actual votes themselves. So, most influential male was Dot Green. Anybody pissed about that? Want to say something?
Oh, I'm furious. All right, this is where I shoot. No, I'm kidding. The last one that we did, I don't remember where he was on the list, but it was kind of right in that little gray area before he skyrocketed into prominence by beating Pew. So
I haven't done this one in a long time.
Right, the last one we did a cast with it, and I just like to do the little comparison since you have all those results. I just don't remember. But this is easy. It's an easy winner, I think, right?
Yeah, I mean, it follows the trend when I was champ that I was mostly on top. So, I mean, right now, his skyrocket, as you just said, is taking off, and it makes sense.
OCW champion seems to always be at the top of this, except for maybe on one occasion.
As it should be.
It's great. All right, best reviewed match was Pew versus Dot Green at Road to Glory 203 Falls.
I totally disagree with that. Yeah, no, wasn't a fan of that match at all. Well, I'm not gonna say at all. It was a fun match. It was whatever.
It was
but
it
was a kick-out fest.
It was AEW's Young Bucks match.
Yeah. Dot Green won that match by kicking out of 3 straight finishers, and I took exception to it because he should have stayed down. But
all right, we'll jump into that later. We'll jump into that later.
Okay. All right.
Okay. To female once again, Valkyries. Yay!
This is why Cass is here. Tell him, Dad.
That's right.
My work waifu dominating
to OCW.
And anybody that's looking, I'm sure Adam will explain later, but anybody that's looking at the power rankings in the forum right now, you're going to see Empress above Valkyrie. Empress is also getting points. You have to remember from the rookie votes, so not
and
just
story
one
votes, everything.
Yeah. Everything goes into account. So Empress higher on the actual power rankings, but once again for probably all of these in a row.
Most influential woman.
It's my work waifu.
Yeah,
get him.
6 fucking rankings in a row now. I think.
Yeah.
I should probably actually start keeping a list of all this stuff. Top rookie, Dot Green, which makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
So, Empress gave him run for his money for a little bit.
Which is actually surprising. I'm looking at the actual votes and didn't expect it to be that close, but it's good we have more than one good rookie.
Yeah, so I'll go right down the list. You shout out if you say that it's too high, too low, just right. Dot Green.
Just right. That's number 1. He's champion, right?
Yep.
And B17.
Probably just right as well. He coming off the heels. Since the last time we did this, he's coming off the heels of a championship win, a big heel turn, a championship loss, and now staking his claim to the grandest title. So yeah, he's right up there. What do you think, Cass? Let's ask the most active guy here. What do you think?
What do I think of Rex?
At being at 3, yeah.
I mean, it's pretty high coming off the loss. I thought maybe he actually would have been a little lower, but he's been very active. His videos, I know he attacked Austin Lee, and he's always been productive. So yeah, three's good.
Yeah, I agree with Cass. I didn't think it'd be that high, but good to see him still up there, even after losing his title immediately.
Yeah. EQC, which is a combination of both.
Way too high.
No. Oh. My son is carrying on. He's going to keep climbing. But they've been known as the prominent tag team wrestlers, really. I mean, everyone else either splits up, goes for single titles, they're alts. These are two mains, kicking everyone's asses when they can.
Including Doc Green and B17, the people in the main event. Hey, shout-outs to you, Adam. Hey, Black Phoenix is for everybody. This has been an upward trajectory, I guess, for us. We started, I think, last Lucian's thing, we were near the bottom, if we made it on at all, I don't remember. And then the formation of the tag team exactly 1 year ago, all the way to now, we're all the way up at 4. It's very good to see the votes pour in, because I didn't expect this to be that high, that's for sure.
For you. Pew!
I mean, he's old.
He's old, he's still got the name recognition, and he's still been a part of the best written segments on shows week to week.
I mean, they came in with a plan, so it makes sense.
That's true. Yep, as soon as he said it many times, as soon as Fame was born, their plan was to have this match at Lucian, and it actually worked out because everybody pitched in, and a few people pitched in and made it like an authority angle, which was cool. So he's still hanging around from a variety of things. Antonio is he's in a weird spot right now. I think he deserves to be this high. There's a couple names on here that I wish I was seeing. I think he deserves to be this high, but this is, once you pass Pew, it's more of a range. I think the people between 6 and 9 are pretty interchangeable.
Yeah, I could easily see Bobby at number 6.
Yeah, right?
Yeah, it's 7, Empress.
Well deserved.
Yeah, we'll lighten the world up both in character and out. I think the biggest contributing factor to this was the shocking win over Valkyrie. We thought, everybody in the world thought Valkyrie was going to run the gauntlet, beat all 3 ladies, and go over. But Empress did her thing and beat her fair and square. Oh
man, the moment she got rid of Blaine, I was like, oh, Valk's got this in the bag.
Yeah, same. Yeah, and then that made me pop even more for Empress, who is the heel, but like even then, good stuff.
Well, it's time to admit, when I got locked into the submission, I looked away from the controller. I was kind of just...
Yep.
I looked back and I'm submitted. I'm like, oh, shit!
I'm like, I don't even think he was paying attention.
No, I knew as soon as it happened. Viewing party was like, did he just let that happen? Or is he letting Valkyrie go over? I was like, this is Adam we're talking about. He absolutely did not do that on purpose.
Oh, put the controller to the side for a second, just kind of hang on to it. Looked at my phone and I looked up and I'm eliminated. I'm like,
that'll happen.
Happened. Yep. All right, number 8, Valkyrie.
Probably
should be number 1.
Probably right where she belongs, just based on the kind of tipsy-turviness. Before it was real straightforward, so she's had to kind of adjust some things from a segment standpoint, but still deserves to be in the top half of the rankings for sure. I think right where she belongs.
Well, Valkyrie always has plans on plans on plans.
Yeah.
So while some people were concerned of the maybe shootish nature of the RPs recently, I knew everything was good. I mean, everything's kind of been in her court, so to say. She kind of made the decisions. The ladder match was obviously, in my opinion, looked like she won the comp version, and it went the way they chose to tell a story. And then the 6th tag maybe didn't go her way, but she had backup plans on that, and everything's good. I mean, she's always good.
And she looked strong in it, too. Even if you lose that match, it was 1-on-3, and you nearly did it, so good shit. Booby is too low. I know I said people between 6 and 9 are interchangeable, but I think Bobby deserves to be higher than 9.
Definitely does.
Especially when you take into account that he is not one-dimensional anymore as a writer or as a handler. He's got everything in the ring now. He can still write better than anybody else here, so I think he deserves to be higher.
Honestly, Boob could be in the world title contention.
I agree.
So definitely be up there.
10, Blaine.
Probably too high. The Valkyrie match is, I think, one that you just kind of slap together because it's Lucian. It has had a build, but it's been, in my opinion, a little less directed because it's kind of like you're looking out of the corner of your eye and it's like, oh, I see you over there, Valkyrie. Like there was a collision course, but it wasn't as directed as something like Rex and Austin Lee, for example.
Yeah, for sure. It was definitely in the background. It was always meant to be coming. I think once she had the title and Valkyrie's never had the shot. It's all been kind of building to this, really.
Number 11.
It's a good thing she has eyebrows now.
Thank you for
yeah, good job, Lou.
that last hit in.
Rip in peace, Lou.
Number 11, Moore.
Very surprised at this. Not to say that Ashley Moore has dropped the ball or done anything.
Ashley Moore.
Right, yeah. I'm shocked by this. Not to say Ashley Moore didn't deserve this, but the RPs were less impactful to me personally as a reader than they were over the last few months leading up to that ladder match. I would have liked to have seen this spot go to somebody like Drago or AC Cobra based on what they have put together, but she's not undeserving of being on this list somewhere. Just not 11.
I would definitely see her on the list, but not to see Drago, Mugen, or the combination of P3. I know she's been involved with everything with Valkyrie, so she's probably still riding high from that moment.
And Empress as well.
And Empress, yep, which brought in Empress. Empress kind of jumped in the middle of that feud and rode it up into the 6-man and then won the 6-man. So Empress kind of leapfrogged Ashley Moore. But
and
Ashley
Valkyrie
should definitely be on here.
Yep.
Number 12, Code.
I mean, he won the CCW title, but I don't think he belongs
on the list. No, I don't think he belongs on the list. He after he lost the House of Horrors match, which was in itself a House of Horror, he didn't really do much. He had those kind of creepy RPs getting him back into action since he was, I guess, IRL busy. But the Code Jackman character, I don't think did enough between the last power ranking and this one. But I'm one guy, and the people have spoken. They like to see their champions up high. So without that title, he's nowhere
correct,
near.
This isn't high.
That's not quite correct.
Fair enough. What's not correct, Adam?
Well, champions get a boost.
There you go.
That's true. Yeah. So then my final statement on that: if he doesn't win that 4-way randomly, he's nowhere near this list.
He's not. Number 13, H2O.
I mean, to have H2O on the list and not Drago, who he's also feuding with. I mean, he put in some probably more video work. He did the attack on Drago, which I completely didn't really like. I mean, you do something off the semi, and I don't know.
Let's see.
All season, he's kind of been staggering, in my opinion. It's not the same straight shot momentum and forward plan. He's taken some baby steps.
I do like where he is now compared to when he was going into the Cass feud. The writing portions, like with him and Drago not really taking him seriously, and then him turning heel and going after Drago, kind of fit with what Inception was doing too, because at the same time, Katie and Tyson were essentially doing heelish things to CQC, and then eventually leading CQC to be a face team. So it works, all things considered, and then that show he put on with Bobby was phenomenal on that Turmoil main event. They always have good matches. So from a writing standpoint, H2O has been really good. I agree with Cass. I did not like the semi-truck thing. I mean, we've seen segments where wrestlers are taken out by like a chair stomp to the leg or like a focused something smaller than that. And for, I don't know whose idea it was, but for Drago to be able to bounce back and double duty on Lucian, it was super weird. But outside of that one segment, the rest of the writing on this from H2O has been good.
Well, let's be serious for a second. H2O was always the bad guy. I was the good guy. So.
Actually, I don't disagree with that. There we go. Number 14, Austin Lee.
Another spot. Well, actually, Lee I think deserves to be on the list. I'm kind of surprised Nate Ortiz is not here, and again, AC Cobra, and Drago, Mugen. I mean, I would put them over Lee personally, but Lee's blood feud with Rex has been interesting because, like I said in one of my reviews or previews or whatever I did, I'm not really even interested in good guy, bad guy with them. You can clearly tell it's just two neutral guys that want to beat the crap out of each other, so I'm down for it.
Number 15, Dupree.
Yeah. No, Dupree has been right in the thick of it. Like I said with Pew, he's not a full-time competitor, so he's not doing any matches outside of the handful that he lost with Fame. But just to see somebody who's only here in a writing capacity to fight at Lucian, make it into the top 15 is pretty impressive.
Now, that would be another... He'd be almost interchangeable with Nate, except Nate's had no matches.
I agree.
So
Builds his
while
aura
Nate is
more,
kind of a bigger presence in it because he was always in the background. He's almost at the head of Fame, so to speak, because he had the influence with Jay. But yeah, Dupree as a competitor, he had 2 title matches, lost them both, but still had 2 title matches. Was in the main event when most of the time he competed on regular shows. He's Dupree.
He is Dupree. Yeah, name recognition.
Okay, are there any glaring omissions from this list that you...
I think we kind of mentioned them as we disagreed with other people.
Personally,
P3,
the two biggest ones are the two biggest ones to me, P3 and AC Cobra.
Let's see. Drago missed out by 1 point.
Yeah.
Cobra was actually getting a few votes, but he veered off at the end there.
I think his build is a bit late. Behind him is coming on now rather than...
Yeah, he's also coming from 0 to nearly making the top 15, so you rarely see somebody go from not on the list to on the list. Like we've mentioned, they usually, fluctuate up and down the list.
Title boost.
Right.
Mugen wasn't all that close. Wasn't close, but they did get votes. So kind of seeing them get left off, because they've been pretty consistent on this list. To see them get left off was pretty shocking to me. But Drago, he was probably the only person that I thought to myself, if he didn't get the votes he deserved. But that's just me.
Yeah, no representation from the Shep Court feud in the top 15 as well, which I'm actually going down the list now, so I'm noticing some people it's interesting. Drago got more votes than Antonio Everett. He got more votes than Quartz. He got more votes than AC Cobra. He got more votes than Lee, Jackman. So a lot of people that did make the list that Drago had more individual votes on, but again, not always about the individual stuff.
Well, it should be reminded when it comes down to this. Yes, influential. You look at and we can get into this pretty much right here with the votes. When it comes to influential, this top 6 or 7 people are pretty much guaranteed. But it comes down to matches quite often. Did you have good matches that stand out to people? And if you don't, you're going to miss out. And that's what happened to Cass a lot. Cass could have been running away with this most of the time, but he would take all the influential votes. He would take storyline votes, but then he would have maybe 1 or 2 matches, and sometimes they weren't all that well received. So he didn't really collect from all those categories.
Makes sense.
I collect from everywhere. I collect from influential. I always push to have as many matches as I can. I'm always in Lee's ear. Hey, I want to have a match. I don't care if I win or lose the match. I just want to have a match. Let's go take a look at this. All right, so with your Lucian top 6 that you believe are most to it, for brief reason why, and then we'll go right down the list. Jake, Cass, and then I'll finish it up and move along.
So a brief reason, sorry, you just cut out a little bit there. A brief reason why they are where they are?
No, who did you vote for? Who you voted for?
Oh,
for
my
the
ballot.
most ballot.
Okay.
The first question was the 6 that you believe were most influential.
Let's start with me. I didn't.
Okay, go ahead. Oh, okay. Well done, Cass. Thanks for your contribution to the pod and to OCW.
Wait. Cass didn't vote?
No.
Here.
Well,
like I
he's
said,
not.
he's
not active.
Felt like it.
He's not
I should have
active.
vetted people before they came here. Did you vote? You're in. Did you vote? No, I did. Fuck you. Shit.
All right. Well, for me, Doc Green was number 1. B17 was number 2. Rex was number 3. AC Cobra was number 4. We don't save our names to the ballot, so it's hard to remember 5 and 6. Drago was on there, and Bobby Minio was number 6. Those were my 6. Doc Green, B17, Rex, Bobby, Drago, and AC Cobra. I've kind of been championing the AC Cobra story as like the ultimate underdog, and he's building it not in a hokey way where he's like, I am the underdog, because he's coming from a unique standpoint of, like he's the veteran, he's always bullied and knocked down, and it's finally built up to, instead of comedic relief, he's actually like, hey, we want to see this guy win. So that's at least how I feel about it. Drago is Drago. The P3 segments are fantastic. Every match he is in is incredible. Same for Bobby. Bobby's not just on the sticks in terms of skill, but his FPR since the last one that we did of this has improved exponentially as well. Rex, for obvious reasons, he puts on... You could probably put Rex in the top 2 or 3 people in terms of matches. Enjoyable match. I don't know if you agree with that, but every single match Rex is in is fantastic. He got me jacked up to watch a Salami Kane match because he was in it. And it's not a knock on Salami, but like I was really into that match. And then Doc and B17 are dominating here, so for obvious reasons.
Thick slices?
Thick!
Okay, well, just for a rundown so everybody knows what happened in the actual voting, the top 5 went Doc Green, Bingo, Rex, Pew, H2O. I voted for Doc Green, B17, Rex, Pew, Bobby. Those were, voted for are ultimately the top 6 that end up leading to it. I always kind of end up looking at the top storyline for the title, and sadly, Turmoil didn't have anything going because it's, this special open challenge that we're going to see. Rex stands out to me as the top Turmoil guy, and he has been for a while, in my opinion. And then Doc Green and myself going back and forth. Pew with the big storyline, H2O turning heel, and then Bobby for his consistency as he continues to move up the card, which has been fantastic to watch.
Absolutely. All in agreement over here.
Cast and votes, so I guess we move along.
That's right.
We'll have Cass.
Weird.
I'd like to have Cass cap it off with any comments at the end of our ballots.
But he can do something, damn it.
Yeah,
Okay.
fucking contribute. Come on, Dad.
As for the most influential males,
give us like 2 or 3 at least.
well, as a complete outsider now, just looking in, not competitive, not doing anything.
Not anything.
The ones I look for, I watch the H2O Bobby match. So when it comes to Bobby, I usually pay attention. Antonio Everett and Shepard match was really good. Antonio Everett probably would have got points from me, and Shepard from me if I voted there. Quartz and Trash, always the TTT life.
Makes sense to me. You go to help with Sai. Let's move it on down to the matches themselves.
To most of you. Now, I voted for a match that got one fucking vote. So
I love that Adam just sighed. I love this.
Really?
I love this.
Please tell me it wasn't
about this too. It's great.
Please tell me it wasn't Blacksmith Low-Key.
Oh, fuck no, I didn't vote for that one. No.
I'll let you go first here then, because I'm interested.
No, I got a few more votes than that. There, how many? They got 3. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Okay. All right. So the top 5 that came out overall were Paul Pugh versus Doc Green versus and B17 versus CQC, Rex versus B17, the Road to Glory 6 woman tag team match, and then Austin Lee versus Rex versus Code versus Bingo. Those were the top 5. I voted for Paul Pugh versus Doc Green. The Doc Green B17 versus CQC. I voted for H2O versus Bobby. 4? I lost track. But anyways, I'll just go ahead and say I voted for Spider versus KD. And really? I don't know. I was like, ooh, I like this match. It was fun to me. It happened to me before, actually. Like, there was an Archer versus Malu match, or a Trans versus Malu match, I think. And I thought the match was fantastic. Like, ooh, this is a great match. I voted for it. No one else fucking voted for it. So I'm like, oh, well.
I cannot support anything where my Faja looks bad, so that match is bad.
Fair enough.
It sucks.
So, yeah, Quartz, go ahead.
Yeah.
Jake.
So, as you know, I said it earlier, I didn't care for the way that the Doc Green Paul Pugh match went at the pay-per-view, so I did not vote for that. I have a strict rule of no voting for me policy, so I didn't vote for that. I voted for Rex and B17, the CCW title match at Road to Glory. I voted for Austin, the 4-way CCW tag match. My first vote was for H2O and Bobby, who have put on probably the best turmoil match of the year. As I mentioned earlier, I really was looking forward to Rex and Solomon Kane, even though it didn't turn out the way I wanted. I did vote for that one as well, and I think there was another one low on the ballot that I voted for as well.
Who?
But I don't remember.
Voted for Quartz versus Jay Fury. Those two people?
I don't know.
I mean, we can ask
know.
questions about who voted for Loki versus Black.
That was pretty much a segment.
It was a comp match, but it went 19 minutes, and we agreed beforehand that we were going to build heat for whoever won. So that match went 19 minutes of
no one saw that version.
Exactly. Right. Yeah, I cut it off halfway through.
Not real match.
Right. I cut it off halfway through and just changed the ending, so I spared you guys 11 minutes of shit. But anyway, that was agreed upon before the comp match was even played. But there was.
I just want to know who voted for pretty much a segment.
Yeah, it's stupid. Like that's dumb. But I agree with you. But yeah, the big ones are on there for me. I didn't vote for the top two. The two CCW title matches, Bobby and H2O, rock my socks off, and then Rex and Solomon Kane deserve a shout out.
If I had voted for this, it would have gone Rex and B17 for RTG, RTG 6-woman tag, H2O Booby, Antonio Shepard, which is 4. My 5th one would have went to Solomon Kane and Rex.
There you go. Thanks for supporting the bloodline.
Only got 2 votes. There's someone who wrote in Dragana versus Mab. And I remember when Pew was...
Oh, yeah.
He went off, and he's like, this was a fucking great match. And I was really excited. I was like, I gotta see this. So the first match I watched when that, I think it was Turmoil, rolled around, was that match.
It was Riot. It was the Riot after the pay-per-view.
Oh, it was a Riot?
Yeah.
And I watched him like...
Yeah.
I don't think he's still... I'm not really sure what to think.
I'm almost sure he did that as a way to jab me. I don't know if he knew I was going to watch this, but the joke was that he said that, and then he told me all of my reviews were overly positive, and then I immediately went in there and gave it a positive review. So I was laughed at for that. So I'm pretty sure that was him throwing shots at me.
Okay, well, I'm sorry that shots were thrown at you, but I legitimately saw the match. And like,
I'm ready.
Like, what the fuck? You see, yeah. I don't get it.
That's all right.
Okay, there was one match that did not get any votes, and it actually was a pretty good match. It was Flojo versus Moore.
I saw that.
Yeah,
I thought it was decent. I thought it was.
Yeah,
when you have to it was 5 from that list. It's just not gonna.
Yeah, but then again, Blacksmith Loki got a vote. That throwaway vote for Queen Mab.
Some troll votes.
The Jay Fury one. 2 votes for that for the fucking Quartz Jay Fury match. Wait, there's another one too. Vote. I think Quartz and Bray was on here, which was a squash match. I lost 0 damage to Red.
Bray must have voted for that.
People really like seeing you hit your ass.
4 votes. Yeah, they do. They love watching Quartz go down.
It's the TTT hate. You're strong.
I'm not even in TTT anymore. Anyway,
Associated.
TTT for life.
Yeah, well, the bloodline's always going to be there. All right. The ladies, Adam.
Valkyrie.
Contributions. Which 3 female wrestlers were the most important during the build to Lucian? The top... I'm just going to go top 5 for each one. Valkyrie, Empress, Blaine, Moore, Dragana. I voted Valkyrie, Empress, and Moore. Because Valkyrie, one, very important. What she's doing is always prominently featured. Empress has gotten really hot lately. And Ashley Moore, well, they haven't really been prominent. She's been a big contributing factor to the FI build, which I am excited to see.
Oh, absolutely. My three were very easy here. It was Valkyrie, Dragana, and Empress. So Valkyrie for obvious reasons, Empress for obvious reasons. I thought Dragana was underappreciated in the whole, but then again, I'm super biased because I've been working with Dragana the whole time. Good to see that Tara. I didn't expect Tara to get any votes. People not really vibing with what I'm doing, but I'm having a good time with it. And I think Dragana did not get enough votes. I thought she'd be closer to Ashley Moore, but I get it. She's not booked at Lucian, so
not booked. Not really in a prominent feud.
Hurts you a lot.
I mean,
yeah, it's more of a story than a feud.
Kind of go hand in hand, so you know they're going to get more votes.
Hard to catch votes in here too because you only get to pick three.
Three, right?
And you have a women's division that is pretty high. I actually did have Tara checked for a bit until I deselected her and decided to go with Moore instead.
She's definitely not top three. I have a rule against voting for my own characters, but even if I didn't have that rule, Tara would not be top three. There's no way.
I mean, 26 votes out of 34 total for Valkyrie. Yeah. I mean,
that's really, an instant box not checked, like for most of the ballots.
Those other people that didn't vote are stupid.
Oh no. But I mean, it means that 76% of the people that came in there, they grabbed votes for Valkyrie automatically, and then Empress was right there.
Empress 64%, yeah.
The stupid. Okay, I'm gonna keep moving here. Which rookie caught your attention? I think there was only 2 potential votes here, but quite a few people actually kind of snuck away with some extra stuff. And you only get 1 vote in here, so this is usually the one where it's either a runaway or it's really close. But top 5 were Doc Green, Empress, Antonio Everett, Kane, and Ashley Moore. I can't disagree with those. I myself voted for Doc Green because
I definitely voted for Empress. Just because I don't really see Doc Green as a rookie anymore. He's probably going to be graduating.
That's fair enough.
Yeah. I don't remember if I voted for him, but I mean, when I initially saw it, I saw Blacksmith wasn't on there, and I was like, oh, yeah, because he's basically not a rookie at this point. And then I saw Doc Green, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll go fuck myself. What's super funny, if you guys are looking at the stats here at the top, it says answered 33, skipped 1. That was absolutely horse kick. He just didn't see his name and just scrolled by it, which makes me laugh.
Well, I mean,
he could have put a rookie? He said no.
I'm like, he could have put other. And obviously, Prince voted
did.
The other.
El Parker. No, you can't vote for yourself. That's lame.
Oh, and Elliot Parker didn't get any votes.
Hey, big shouts to Salami Kane. Really, he's got the same amount of votes as Antonio Everett, which is really impressive. He's on a big upswing here, which, considering he was the first, I think, if my memory serves me right, eliminated from the Rookie Relevancy Battle Royal. He's the only one on this list, with serious votes.
He had a Rex. He had a Rex match.
The Rex match. Yeah, that Rex match.
You got a match against Rex. You're gonna get. You're gonna be seen.
Now we move on to one that I really disagree with.
This one I disagree with completely and utterly. Which tag team faction had the most impact over the past month? All right, so the top. Let's just go top 3 because those are the only 3 that really got votes. The Uncrowned at 1, CQC at 2, and then P3 way behind in votes, number 3. And then I voted for CQC, but I was very surprised to see that the Scum Society, did not get a single vote. The Uncrowned, I kept them there because they are still a tag team. They still interact with each other. But I honestly could have taken them off this because they're more of individual superstars at this moment.
But at the same token, you can't, because they are a faction, and even if they're doing things by themselves, they are kind of making the biggest impact when it comes to they are, as rookies, captured the two of the most prestigious titles in OCW. The light heavyweight, which has been held by mainly just people who could have held the world title and probably didn't want to. So they kind of took a step down, and that title, literally all legends, world heavyweight champions. So Everett taking that, and then Doc Green taking the world heavyweight title. I can see how they got the most votes and why they should be there as a faction, at least, since you did write that word. Although Fame definitely, at the same token, deserves to be in the top 3, because without Fame, Uncrowned doesn't even get there. So Fame did their job putting them over, and that's kind of why Uncrowned has votes.
Yeah, I don't vote for myself. I played this more about Impact as a unit. So I voted for P3 just because they're always together. It feels like every time I read something like, and then coming into the space and time, I kind of was a mark for that. But with me disqualifying myself for personal rules and then disqualifying the Uncrowned because it's difficult. The Cass is right. They made the most impact as a unit, as a faction, but they did it as individuals. So not the I honestly expected to run away with this, but that's why we vote. The people have spoken.
There's one thing I learned from this, just by looking at the fact that Kassidy does not have any votes. It's that is much more. I don't know. I don't know the proper word for it. Like, it just has
is more
visual. Like he can see it
on Riot, so that's kind of where the votes went.
Right, and then Kassidy, like the fact that they didn't get any votes and that the experience got 1.
Well, whoever voted for. Well, to be fair to the experience, they've been writing not groin in pain material. It's not Bobby Minio, but it's there and it's giving us like something to work with their characters with. And they are the only team in OCW with tag team match wins over the Riot Tag Champions, CQC, and the Turmoil Tag Champions, Scum Mystico. So they have that, and hopefully they work it into some kind of promo idea, because if they're not, that's a huge missed opportunity. But then again, whoever voted for them is in the experience because they only watch their own content.
Fair enough. Okay, question number 6. What 2 storylines have been the most intriguing for you? So I made it... it's usually only 1, but I made it 2 because we have so many storylines ongoing right now that many are going to be concluding at Lucian. So it seemed only fair that since I'm going to be adding more storylines, that everyone gets a chance to pick their favorite 2. So the top 5 went as this. Dean turns on Doc Green and the fans. Collision course. Number 3, Velk faces the final test. Number 4 was Bobby as a main event player. And then number 5 was Jest versus Capo. Finally getting a chance to fight.
Yeah, it's been a big, long build. The 2 that I picked here, I had AC Cobra marked for a long time, but on this list, there's just ones that are better. I think more than 2 deserve a vote, but you only gave us option for 2, so I picked the 3-way, the main event at Lucian, the Fame line, just because, holy shit, like it's crazy. The 3 of the biggest dudes ever are going to fight in Lucian. And they've been active kind of coming up to Lucian. It's not like a random, like, hey, tune in because you might see The Undertaker and Goldberg. It's the Fame one and Bobby Minio are the 2 votes that I did. But the B17 angle was a lot of fun, especially the whole way that it played out with him being on a roller coaster and then turning his back on the fans and then turning his back on the title, turning his back on Turmoil. And then Valkyrie, of course, also another roller coaster that you just, while it's not like the best written stuff that Valkyrie's ever done, you have to watch it because it's so tantalizing. But Bobby and Fame were my 2 best writers.
Okay. All right. I ended up voting for Fame because B17 turning on Doc Green, like it's been really short, and probably expect that it's going to go past Lucian because it just happened, so it's going to be continuing, and it's just finding its legs right now. So it's been a quick build. It's been really fun. He's a great person to work with, but ultimately there hasn't been enough behind it for me to say, okay, it's better than the Fame on Collision Course. Fame's been building for a very long time, and it's all exploding. It's going to be a Lucian main event, so it's got the quality of writing, and it has the potential to make a great deal of impact.
Yeah,
and then I ended up.
This 100% surprising.
Right.
Really?
Okay.
Okay, what was your second vote, real quick, and then I need to have Cass follow up on that.
CQC seeks to make tag team wrestling great again. The fact that we could merge tag team belts right now is necessary from a turmoil perspective because of lack of teams, and it's necessary from a Riot perspective for lack of teams, and to freshen things up and to make it unique. This is something that I've enjoyed watching unfold. So I vote for the building of the tag team division on both shows.
And Cass, why did this surprise you? Like, what about it?
Oh, well, as B17 was saying, like, him and Doc Green have been a really short build. And while it's like a huge jump from the CCW champion losing his title, coming over, and then turning, the turn was kind of almost crowd forced in the Rex match.
Yeah,
I completely. I loved, actually. I have to go out there and I have to say it. Like, get it. Like, I 100% get it, because if you look at what has happened to Rex, like, I have foiled him in so many instances. His rookie year, I destroyed him. When I came back, I knocked him out of the CCW elimination for the title. That was because I lost to Lee, and then I got into the tournament, and then I knocked him out. And then when I won the title, automatically he tried to cash it in, defeated him there again. He goes to Lucian, he loses, and then we keep going. I come back, and I finally get my rematch against him, and I beat him again. All this is happening to him, and I've actually told him, and everyone can ask him, I've said, you're a face, because no one wants to cheer for me when I fight you. You finally saw it, and everyone's like, we want Rex to win. I don't think people were saying that B17's a heel, but against Rex, I became one. It became so vocal. I was like, okay, you guys.
It was in that moment
time to go.
You did the pop-up finisher where the whole crowd turned. Like, everyone didn't care any which way. They're like, yeah, this match is good. Don't care if Rex win. Don't care if B17 win. Some people were like, I hope B17 defends. Then you went pop-up punch, and everyone was like, fuck B17.
Yeah.
I don't think it was that moment. That did play a part, but it was one of the most interesting turns of viewing party that I've ever seen. I think, at least from my perspective, I came in wanting the face to win. I wanted B17 to win because he was like, fresh, more serious B17 over the last few months. He's competing for the title. He had his feud with Jackman, which naturally led into the CCW title. So I was rooting for him going in, but the way that it unfolded, like I was all the way on level 10 on B17. Match goes, you start hearing some things in the viewing party, and you start hearing like Adam said, B17 has killed him every time. Like, Rex is always the underdog, even though he is the scummiest dirtbag on the earth. You're looking at this, and like, it was such a beatdown. Like, he would get a move of offense in, B17 would get up and just smack him around for like a full 2 or 3 minutes. And then just like, though I think the moment that turned it for me wasn't the pop-up punch. It was when Adam like taunted in front of his face and went to do the bingo punch, and Rex was just so defeated that he dropped to a knee in the game and avoided the bingo punch. I was like, oh my God, like he became an underdog in that moment. And I was like, come on. And I had flashbacks of when he cashed in and failed, and I had flashbacks of all these shortcomings that he had over the last 2 seasons. And I was like, come on, Rex, your story's not over. You just retired, Trance. I'm cheering for the anti-hero. Let's go, Steve Austin. And then, no, Adam dumped him on his head, kicked out of 2 finishers, and, I mean, that's B17 for you.
But yeah, because of that short build, I'm just surprised that it is on top of that list.
I am too. I really do appreciate people voting for him. Glad people have enjoyed it so far, and they're enjoying what they're seeing. But ultimately, I mean, I think the Fame has been a much better build. I think the Velk, even though it's been kind of a side story as things have unfolded, has been better. I think there's been a lot of better builds, but I do think, the fact that the CQC thing didn't really get many votes, or the fact that Rex and Lee are finally going to face off one-on-one, it's like I feel like Turmoil just doesn't get that view that people see. Oh my God, there's 2 stars and they're about to crash into each other. Because I view Lee as kind of like a legend of Turmoil, maybe not a legend of OCW, but a legend of Turmoil. And Rex about to get his revenge, hopefully, is something I want to see as well. So.
Yeah, just one final point on Lee. I view him not as like a star on Turmoil. He's a big name, but he's somebody like, he feels like a part-timer to me, which is wrong because he's been full-time as Austin Lee the whole season. I guess because his RPing is inconsistent and sporadic and kind of all over the place. It doesn't like work on a consecutive. He just kind of like, an Austin Lee promos. I don't know if that's why, but I consider Lee a part-timer, even though he's not, just something that happens naturally when you're watching a show. I don't know why I feel that way, but
he is Tommy Dreamer of Turmoil to me. He's like the Tommy Dreamer version to for ECW. Like,
yeah, when he comes out, you're like, hey, it's that guy, but you're like, you put him on the list, and it's like, well, these other guys are better.
Yeah. All right, last one. What three matches are you looking forward to at Lucian? The top 5 went as follows: B17 versus Doc Green, Fame Triple Threat, Male Future Investment, Balak versus Blaine, and Just versus Capo. The 3 that I voted for: Fame Triple Threat match, CQC versus Scum Society, which correlates with the stories that I had, and then the Women FI match, which didn't really get much respect in terms or votes in terms of story build, and then match build is pretty far down on the list as well.
Yeah, this is probably the closest, and it was one of the most interesting. One big, I'm sure you noticed it too, the big one, looking at these stats that sticks out, third in voting is the male FI, which, according to Dan, was just cut for irrelevancy. Like when he did his own little custom Lucian card earlier, he cut it to 7 matches. This didn't make the cut, and it's top 3 with people looking for it. I did not vote for it personally, which increases my ire, and the reason I was like, hey, why that's up there. B17 it's for the greatest title in OCW. It's the World Championship. Of course, it's going to be number 1. My picks were Fame Triple Threat. I mean, it's Nate Ortiz, Tibby, and the GOAT Paul Pugh. What's there not to like? I don't vote for myself, so I voted for the Experience, which is way low on the list, which is kind of bullshit. And then to finally get the payoff that I've been waiting for, I voted for Jest and Capo, which I'm also happy got a bunch of votes.
Mm-hmm. Cobra got a lot of votes too. I was happy watching it. Before Cass goes on, what you said about Pugh, this is why I find it important to do this. Person can have a great opinion, no doubt. Like, he can have a great deal of things to say, and he can probably be right on a majority of those things. But at the end of the day, it becomes very important to understand what is, because we're the audience. All of us together, we're all watching. It becomes important to understand what a majority of people think. So that's why we do it. But go ahead, Cass.
Yeah, very important.
Now, the Male Future Investment would have been number 1 had I been in it, Bill.
Is that all you have to say?
Not active, didn't vote, put himself over.
Yeah. Nobody's put Cass over in a while. Why don't you two shut up? Let me do my thing. Good work, Dad. Always thinking of number 1.
Okay. Cass, what would you pick?
Voting aspect, the match type, 100%. This one makes sense that B17 and Doc are over Fame Triple Threat, just because triple threats versus a one-on-one, I feel like a one-on-one match can definitely be better. The build for the Fame match should have been higher than B17 versus Doc, but when it comes to looking forward to the match, one-on-one against triple threats have not always been the best, and sure, you have 3 of the best, but when it comes to the game cooperating with you, when it comes to setting up those spots, the Fame triple threat can easily fall down. It cannot be, it can fall when it comes to quality. I don't expect it to, but it could.
Does that go the same way for the Male Future Investment then?
No, because that's going to be a spot fest, and people like spots.
Like the spots. Okay.
People want to see who's going to get put through a table, who's going to get put through a ladder.
And there are people...
Ladder matches have actually been like a top-notch thing. Like me versus Tibby ladder match, top-notch. You versus Trance, top-notch. Like, all the ladder matches have actually been really good. Me versus Mugen. People really enjoyed those matches. So when it comes to
the Ashley Valkyrie
match,
one,
yeah, Ashley Valkyrie just happened. People, they've been good.
I'm not a huge fan of the spots though. Like, I love watching them, but remember the Turmoil 3 3-team.
Oh,
There
Wrestlution.
are people who loved
for the
it,
turmoil
and then there are
about it,
people that hated it. And I fell on the
that
hate
match.
side.
That match is weird because they did what is possible this year. Last year, when it wasn't actually possible, it was just kind of a clusterfuck of a match. It was a 6-man match with no real teams. This year, that would actually, I think, work a lot better.
It's a possibility that's here.
Yeah, you can do it online now.
That's cool.
But
If you set up a custom match, if you make the custom match first and then go into 6-mans, then you can pick your custom match that's a 3-way tag.
Okay, so if we
unfortunately,
could,
we don't have any fucking tags.
say that CQC and Scumside to keep feuding. Say Summerside, because Summerside's going to come up. I would love to see that match. What's the third team? On PS4, obviously, because
I guess you could put the experience since they have a win on each team, but they would actually have to put in the work. Otherwise, fuck them.
Have any other teams?
Not on Turmoil.
Oh, shit.
Someone can make a team.
Yeah, Katie and Wagner are over on Riot. So.
Hell, Jahest and Capo can go from Blood Feud to teaming again.
Right, just like before.
Start over. So there are actually two matches that didn't get votes, and one of them does not surprise me in the slightest. One of them surprises me a great deal. Bobby versus Max Whale, which I've been saying wrong this entire year. I thought it was Max Well. So sorry about that.
Well, I call him Max Wally.
It's actually Max Wale.
Yeah, I say Max Wally. He got you twice.
I've been saying it wrong for the last 2 days now. Ray versus Thomas Archer. I think a lot played in because of what has been leaking out in terms of what's happening with that. So,
well, this is really just Brave versus Trance in another scenario of different characters. So, yeah, with that whole thing that happened, I don't think anyone cares.
No, I don't care either. It's neither here nor there. I can't speak on what should or should not happen. But yeah, that's everything.
We've done it.
We've given our picks and stuff. What's the time on this right now?
52 minutes flat. Yeah.
Beautiful. All right, so we pretty much have clothing thoughts that anybody wants to throw out there. Maybe a quick.
A quick what? I'm sorry.
I was gonna say, throw out 3 matches you'd like to see at Summerside or something, because pretty much right after this we gotta start building for Summerside. Because I seriously doubt there's gonna be a summer lull.
Yeah, no, that's not gonna happen.
You'll have Savage Lands and then Summerside. Yeah.
Yeah, so we have 2 pay-per-views left.
I thought there's 2 pay-per-views between.
There's 2.
Summerside.
Yeah.
No, there's usually 1.
No. Yeah, what Cass said.
Yeah, because last year he just did he allowed us to have a 7-week build. So we went from a really short build, and then we got the really long build, which is why Savage Land was so good, because all the matches had 7 weeks. Yeah. They all got completely fleshed out.
Yep.
Okay, so if there's 2 or 3 feuds that you could see continuing from here and going all the way to Summerside, is there anything you'd like to see?
There is a lot of potential in the Pride title thing right now. I think whoever doesn't leapfrog themselves into the heavyweight title scene in the male future investment match can stay in the kind of middling area. And I would love to see, because Bobby Mineo has been kind of sitting on that throne of the Pride title. You got good names reaching up to get it. Talos, AC Cobra, Trey Golden, who's come back and been awesome since he got back. And then Shepard is still around, and then there's even more people. I can see some of the Riot rookies stepping up once some of the veterans, kind of lower their workload a little bit. The rookies are the biggest part that I'm hoping to see a lot more of, especially people like El Parca, Danny Watts on Turmoil, Solomon Kane. He could end this year as the international champion, and I would be all for it, because he's on a very upward trajectory. And for somebody who, when I first saw his call, I almost laughed him out of the building, to win me over, to win my heart. Excited to see the rookies during the summer and where the mid card titles go. At the top of the card is always going to be fantastic. So those are the 2 things I'm looking at.
Big slices for international, 100%.
This is the guy who used to have a giant ass fucking bullseye on his leg, and I laughed at his ass. And everything got better from that, so good for him. honest, there's maybe one or two. I'm not gonna go into them because I'm sure we'll do this again. But any closing thoughts with the actual rankings themselves or Lucian? I know there's gonna be a few little preview, so not to step on anything.
Three things for Lucian before I sign off and go do commentary for you animals.
Thank you.
One, can't wait for it. The greatest show in Wrestlution history. The show itself is going to be fantastic. What I know of right now, I only know of one non-Prime match, and then Prime itself, and it's all like gold to me. But I'm also a mark. And finally, fuck Bray.
Okay, my three-part closing thoughts here. One, Code Jackman is an amazing person to work with. I worked with him for like, I don't know, I think we actually had like 3, maybe 4 months back and forth, and that was great. You have something like that going that long, it's because both people are pulling their weight. So he's somebody that hopefully he gets through Lucian. Yeah, because I want to see what he's going to do. But I've had a great deal of fun working with Doc Green. He's a stand-up person, and I hope everything continues to go well for him. And the third and final thing is fuck Valkyrie.
All right. My one and only thought is Valkyrie's best. Valkyrie's number one. Thanks.
And that's why you're here, to offset me.
I'll win your heart one day, Dad. See you at Lucian, everybody.
Bye.